Hey there, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a trio of War Machine battle reports, and they're all going to be featuring a new caster I'm trying out. I've actually had him for a while, but just never got around to him, and that's Kraye. So, kind of the original mounted character here, the caster. And, I'm just kind of interested in him because before this, I was kind of working on Epic Striker. And his big thing is he has 17 inches of threat. He gets in there and he kills things. But the problem is that if he ever fails, you kind of lose. What Kraye does is he has between full tilt and his the feet and also the reach on whatever the jack is also has 17 inches of threat, but it's on a jack and not on him. So if it fails, no big deal. So we'll see how this works. However, you can also kind of see that there's upkeeps on me already, so that means we're up against the new Denny tier. So this is my brother playing this. He's just kind of trying out the new tier, and with this, yeah, it looks pretty nasty. So he has Nightmare. He has the Death Jack. There's a Scarlock back there. Bile Thralls. I don't know the names of all these things, especially since this is a lot of stuff that he almost never uses. But for the most part, it's a lot of stuff that isn't that bad, right? It's a lot of stuff that's really weak. I have a lot of guns, and I'm actually looking like I have the advantage. So just to kind of show you what I have the Tempest Blazers on the left. They're starting off with the -2 defense. I have the Storm Wall. It's starting with the -2 armor. I have the Stormclad. It's starting off with Pursuit. Of course, I have Kraye. I have the Squire. I have Max Lung Gunners and the Rangers. Just kind of, I'm not actually very happy with this list, but it's just something I thought I'd start with. Meanwhile, you can kind of see what he has up there, and that's what I mean, where I have a lot of guns, and I can really kill a lot of his stuff, and with that threat, I can really get up there and kill his bigger jacks. Now, the game we're playing is Incursion, because my brother hasn't made the zones yet, and so it's the first one of 5. You get 1 for controlling a flag, 2 for dominating if it's an outer flag, and after the first turn, one of the outer flags will disappear. So, my brother won first turn, especially because with the tier you get +1 to get that first turn, and he's just kind of moving on up here into the woods with Deathjack, and yeah, giving. I really thought he'd move up a little bit further, but he doesn't want to be shot first turn either. So otherwise, on my turn, I go up with the Storm Wall. I have the full tilt onto the Stormclad to get to the other side. I have some cover fires down there, but the real stupid thing I do is I decide I want to get some shots in, and I want to kill some of those guys already. And so Kraye goes to the other side of the wall, takes the long shot, and misses. And part of the problem here is, for whatever reason, I thought that when I moved up the Storm Clad, that he'd move up Deathjack. And then I actually have 2 focus on the Storm Wall, so I could shoot him. I have guided fire up. But yeah, he actually moved up the Nightmare, who is praying Kraye. Now, after I did the measurements, I saw that he is out of range. But yeah, I do not like being out in the front there, especially because of Denny's feet and how I can be locked in place. Otherwise, I get a few shots, he makes some tough checks, and yeah, I am not feeling good whatsoever. The flag that disappears is the one on the right here, so looks like my Tempest Blazers have to beat a Deathjack. And otherwise, his turn looks like this. Now, we actually are trying to help each other a lot more to become better players. And when I was going into this turn, I was telling him, you know what, you basically got this caster kill easy. All you have to do is lock me in place with the feet, move up Nightmare, and you can then just deliver him next turn and crush me, right? If you swap over the -2 armor spell, and between Prey, it's at dice -4, so you're doing 6 for each boosted attack, and between that and some sprays and stuff, you can probably kill me. So he kind of went halfway on that. He kind of moved over here, moved over some guys, went and engaged my Rangers, killed one with a spray, really just kind of moved some stuff on the left here as well. But yeah, I'm under feet, and a lot of my stuff can't see. So no, sorry, I can't move. Now, one of the things I probably could do is I could put some shots into Epic de Negra, because one of the mistakes he did make is that even though he should have gone in Corporal this turn, he forgot. But I'm not gonna burn him for that mistake. Plus, I don't think that the odds are really in my favor either. So I really do well on killing everything else because, hey, if you can't move, you might as well shoot. So I kill almost all the bile thralls. I kill some of the guys that are here on the left, the dredges or whatever their name are, overseers. I don't know. But yeah, I killed quite a few guys. As you can see, the huge gap of things had disappeared. And all I did was just fully camped. I took one off the squire. I'm camping 7 focus just to be safe. I threw 2 rangers in front of the nightmare, the only 2 that could actually move. I have a pod in front of them, and I'm going to kind of hope that does it. So at the end here, again, we were talking about the way he could try and kill me and the math and everything, and he decided to go for a mixed approach where he was going to kind of send in Nightmare and do some damage and then just try and finish me off later. So he's going to be in Corporal this turn, and basically he did not switch over the spell, so -2 armor. So when when he does a spray with Biothralls, kills the guys in the front, Nightmare comes after me, but now he's not doing very much damage. He did a little bit to me, but nothing too serious. Came into the Rangers, killed like 1 more of the other guys. On the left side, he kills 3 of the Blazers, and I failed my command test, so that sucks. He also has a Siren that ran back to be by my storm wall, so if I try moving up, I'm just going to get shadow binded or whatever. So yeah, I'm in a pretty bad spot, but what I really need to do now is I have parry, so I can get away from the Nightmare anyway. That Stormclad needs to kill the Nightmare, and then really at this point, I now see I'm not going to do well on the left flag, so I'm just going to try contesting it and really go for just doing more attrition in the middle. So the big thing that really kind of surprised me here is that, of course, he has pursuit of my storm wall. So when I move up to the Nightmare will move away. Well, what I did is that I cast pursuit onto the Nightmare so that after I moved away, when the Stormclad goes in, if he pursues away, I just pursue right back into him. Well, what he decides to do instead is that Epic de Negra comes up here right into the mix. And, I can't hurt her because she's in Corporal, but this seemed really crazy and didn't really make any sense to me. So after everything was done here, I was able to, rally on the left side, and that's about it. I shot down a pod, and I killed the Siren that was over here, killed off the last Bile Thrall, also killed off the War Witch Siren that was on the right side. The Nightmare's dead. Some of the other things are dead. I got a cover fire down there to help me out too. Made a wall to try and really keep Epic de Negra away. And yeah, I'm actually feeling okay with this because he should not be able to destroy my Stormclad. I really don't know what Epic de Negra is going to do. So yeah, feeling really good actually. But what she does is she casts the spell with the Scarlock onto the Lung Gunners so that they're the -2 armor and he can move through me. And with that, he's able to charge with the Negra, hit me, and teleport me over here. Did a little bit of damage. Looked like I was going to survive. But then after that, the little Arcno comes in here, does a spray, gets double 6 for damage, and I die. So, overall, of course, the big mistake I made in this game is putting Kraye way too forward. But overall, I kind of like the list. It has lots of shots. The whole idea is to shoot away the chaff, to deliver the heavies. Unfortunately, in this matchup, her feet kind of stopped that for a turn. But I just got to be a little bit more patient, right? Wait out that feet, hold back the heavies, and don't get your caster killed. Alright, so now we're going to be up against Karchev, and that's going to be a neat matchup because he likes to slingshot jacks, I like to slingshot jacks, so we're kind of an even playing field. I'm running the same list. I haven't changed it yet, but he's running Karchev with the Behemoth, the War Dog, the Widowmakers, the Dragoon with Dismount. There's the Troll Mechanic. There is the Mortar Team. There is the Manowar Kovnik running 2 of the Berserkers, the other Kovnik, and then there's also the full Pikeman with the UA. So this mission here, no kill box. You get first 1 to 5 wins. You get 1 for dominating the close zone, 1 for controlling the far zone, and 2 for dominating the far zone, and 1 for destroying the enemy objective. And really here, he has a lot of hard targets with pretty good armor, so attritioning will be a little bit difficult. So what I'm really going to be looking for, though, is that since he doesn't have a lot protecting Karchev, I'm just going to kind of go for the long bomb, send out the guy with full tilt caster kill. So with my first turn, I put the full tilt onto the storm wall, get him right up there, and right away I was kind of regretting it because in my mind the Behemoth is slow, but I don't know if I'm actually safe where I am. And I mean, if he kills the storm wall, I can destroy the Behemoth with the Stormclad and double tapping and stuff. Then he destroys me with Karchev, and then I'm a little bit more in a tougher spot. So really did not like how I kind of set up this first peace trade, but otherwise I'm just waiting for him. So he thinks about going with it, but then looking at it, didn't really like it, so because he didn't think he'd be in. So instead he decides to move more to the right side, toes over to Behemoth. He shoots 2 shots into me, gets pretty crappy dice, only does 2 damage. Widowmakers shoot for 4 more. He has the Dragoon and the War Dog going over, getting ready to countercharge whatever goes over there. Otherwise, on the right, he's moving up. He had a mortar shot that kind of just went off and did nothing. And that's really it. And really, for my part, I'm looking at Karchev, and I'm looking at that Stormclad, and that's a pretty easy charge to pull off. So that's all I do is I go and I put full tilt on him, load him up with 3 focus, and off he goes, and bam, bam, caster kill win. So, that's how he's supposed to work. But, hey, this is a fast game, so we're going to do it again. So we kind of redeploy this. Same scenario. I'm still going first. He slightly changes his deployment, but otherwise, yeah, kind of the same plan. So this time, though, I'm not going to set up myself for a possible, first turn Stormwall loss. So I put full tilt onto the Stormwall. He's actually going to go off to the right side, and everything else just moving on up. For him, he's now being a lot more careful. Behemoth is in the back, or is in the front to block Karchev, so he's nice and safe there. These forests in the middle is really causing me issues, but hey, I set up terrain, so I can't blame it too much. And otherwise, yeah, he's just kind of moving on up. Mortar killed 1 ranger, and that's really it. So on my turn, what I decide to do is because I have the full tilt started on him, I can actually pull off 1 on the Squire to upkeep this, allocate 3, and then also use 3 to put up the Pathfinder. So he can charge in, go after the Behemoth. If I get kind of lucky, I can destroy him, and if nothing else, I can do some damages with Electro Leaps and then just be in the way to slow him down. So that's what I do. I come up and I leave him on like 2 or whatever boxes. Really came close. And of course, it's a freaking Cortex. The one thing I didn't want to leave, but whatever. Electro Leaps killed the dog, and he's got me to deal with. So otherwise, the long gunners go up, and they do some combines into those Widowmakers, and I'm not needing much to hit them. I think I need 6s, but I can't do it. I only hit 1, and go up with the storm wall, put down some cover fire, do 1 shot into the Dragoon for a little bit of damage, put up a pot up there just to be in the way. That opens up a hole so that Kraye could come over and put his toe in the zone. On the right side, I know for a fact I can't out-attrition all that stuff. But what I do need to do is make sure that he can't get over there to start scoring. Now, really, I'm not worried about him scoring yet. So my Rangers could be further back, but I'm worried about him overrunning the zone so I can't get in after. So that's why the Rangers are up there. I do a little bit of plinking damage on the Berserkers. And also I go up and I kill 3 of the pikemen with the brutal damage. Hope to do more, but I just wasn't hitting. So there you go. Not too bad, and I'm feeling pretty good. On his turn, what happens is that Karchev goes back to the little bunker there. He puts 3 in the behemoth, also does Unearthly Rage. The mechanic guy comes over and fixes 2 on the behemoth, which is all he needs to fix up both his arms. And then, yeah, he easily scraps the Stormclad. Little plinking damage from the Widowmakers, killing a couple of long gunners or something. The Dragoon runs around to just get in my way. And then on the right side, yeah, he basically goes up and kills those 3 Rangers. Now, the real thing I need to do is, I mean, I didn't score here, so that's not great, but, you know, it's kind of what I expected. But what I really need to do is finish off that behemoth. I mean, the easy play is to kill the Dragoon, score a point, but then he's just going to keep on healing up that behemoth, and he can kind of position himself on the other side of the woods so that he can survive. So I really need him dead, so I'm going to have to try and be a little bit creative. So what I end up doing, let's start on the right side. One of the Rangers runs up, one runs back to save for a late turn contest. Do some shots into him to kill a few of the pikemen, and then 2 of them go up there just to kind of engage and keep them trapped. The long gunners move up and they do some combines, again trying to wipe out these Widowmakers, but again just can't roll the numbers, so I only kill 1. Kraye then has room to get around to attack the Dragoon. I'm able to dismount him, and then he positions himself so that he's out of my reach. I put Pursuit on him so that if he comes after me I can move away, but that was really stupid because he doesn't need to move, so I kind of just wasted 2 points of armor. Otherwise, I go over with the Storm Wall the best I can now that the Dragoon's out of the way, and with that, I'm able to get 1 shot onto the Behemoth, and I leave him on 1 frickin' box. So I shoot my nipple shots at him, nothing. The right side can't shoot anything. Ugh, really disappointing. Actually, when the Tempest Blazers went up, 2 of them had tried shots onto the Behemoth, just could not do it. So, I cannot say enough how annoying it was to leave him on the 1 box again, just coming so close. And at the same time, I didn't score, so that's not great. I needed to start scoring early and to forcing his hand, and that didn't happen. I just really didn't achieve anything I wanted. So on his turn, he really does some good damage to me on the left side. He hits me straight on with the mortar, kills tons of guys. You know, it's kind of my fault for having them grouped together, but they kind of need to be because they're kind of slow, and I didn't want to lose my range, and I don't know, excuses up the arse. But yeah, a bunch of them die. I get kerplacked for like 7 damage on a Kraye from the dismounted Dragoon. The Man of War just kind of goes, or sorry, the Behemoth just kind of saunters over, does something like 8 damage to the Storm Wall with its shots, and then otherwise, the big luck I got on the right side was that he failed both of his tests on his Berserkers, so they didn't have the boosted to hits, and somehow, out of some super luck of dice, he did not kill my Tempest Blazers. So he did not score here when he probably should have, and now I'm feeling a little bit better. So what I could do is, here's my option. Stormwall could shift to the left after I kill the Dragoon, of course, and he could shoot the Behemoth, finish him off, and be kind of okay there. But the problem I was having is that I really want to try and kill off more of his key pieces while I could, to really make it even harder for him to clear out the zone and start scoring counterly. So what I decided to do then is instead to dedicate the Storm Wall. So on the left, I allocate 3 to him. Kraye puts full tilt onto him, comes over, finishes off the Dragoon. I try doing some aim shots into the Widowmakers, everything misses again because those Widowmakers I just can't hit. The Ranger runs over. The Tempest Blazers basically just shift over and do their shots. Do pretty bad. Only kill 2 guys. But then that leaves lots of room for the Stormwall to get in there. He just walks over and is able to punch the Behemoth, destroy him. I tried one punch onto the Kovnik Manowar, and yeah, left him on 2 boxes, unfortunately. Then I just try and really destroy this Berserker because, every time I punch him, I'm just going to do lots of damage. I'm going to do Electro Leaps and kill other guys, but I just roll pretty piss poor. So I actually didn't take out any systems on that Berserker, and yeah, really did not like that activation. I score a point, so that's something, but I think I'm in for some hurt now. So what happens is that the mortar is able to kill the other long gunner. The last one remaining fails his command test. He is able to go and make his actual things with the Kovnik this time, so that he gets boosted hits on the Berserkers. Along with the pikemen, kill off some of the Blazers in there. One was luckily able to live, and the only reason he did is because the Berserker went after the Stormwall, and that wasn't really needed because, once Karchev got there, he just ripped it apart. So luckily, he doesn't score, and because the Widowmakers decided to shoot at me to plink some damage, I score again on my zone, so it's 2-0. But looking at this here, it is pretty bad. I mean, I'm going next. I'm going to get another point for sure. But I really need to now do everything to keep him out of my zone. So, yeah, that'd be kind of difficult. I mean, I can run the Ranger up to engage both of his Widowmakers just by hopping over that hedge and going right there between them. That kind of locks them down. The other Tempest Blazer can kind of run over to kind of lock things down for the other units, and hopefully that would work, but it doesn't actually matter because the store had to close, so time was called, and I had 2 control points to none, so I got the victory. So overall, it wasn't the type of victory I wanted, but, at least it was a bit of a closer game there and a lot of death. Definitely that woods in the middle caused lots of issues, but hey, that's something you got to deal with when you got a Colossal. Now, overall, with the list, I do kind of like the list, but what I definitely want to do is bring down the Blazers to a min unit, and that would allow me to put in Junior, who could then put up the Arcane Shield and make those jacks more legit for when they charge in for the counterattack, and then also add in as well Reinhold. And now let me then either measure what those distances are to make sure I'm not dedicating a heavy for nothing, and would also let me get 2 shots off with Kraye's gun. Because no, with his 13-inch range, he can actually get some work done. So I was kind of looking at that, but then after some more thought, I thought, hey, I'm just not playing him right. I need to go more jack heavy. And so then the type of list I was looking for is with Stormwall, Stormclad, 2 Hunters, 2 Sentinels, and then the Strange Ways and the Squire. So really different. It's all about guided fire and all the rest of it, while I still have 2 jacks I can deliver. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Kraye. Definitely at this point, I'm not very competitive with him. But yeah, he's a guy to be playing for fun. And hopefully you guys like watching these reports. And I'll catch you later. Bye.